In 1964, Americans discovered a great happiness to replace their great sadness after the assassination of President Kennedy. They found it in four young men from Liverpool, the Beatles. Within the first 6 weeks of 1964, I Want to Hold Your Hand went to #1. She Loves You entered the top 10, and Please Please Me climbed the chart. John, Paul, George, and Ringo were relieved. Even when the UK had been swept by Beatlemania in 1963 and the Fab Four booked to appear on The Ed Sullivan Show, they dared not hope for a similar reception in the US. But The Ed Sullivan Show on the 9th of February was an unprecedented success, the greatest ratings getter in television history to that point. 73 million people tuned in.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles!
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you.
2 days after the broadcast, the Beatles traveled to Washington, D.C. for their first American concert. It was appropriate they should open in the nation's capital because it had been a Washington disc jockey who was first to play I Want to Hold Your Hand in the United States.
It's great being here in New York. Okay. Oh, is that the place? I don't know, Washington. I'm just moving so fast.
The Washington concert, the evening of the 11th of February, demonstrates the innocence as well as the excitement of that week. The Beatles perform in the round with no thought that this might be unsafe. They turn to face different parts of the audience and even move some of their own equipment. They introduce songs assuming most of those present have never heard them.
And it was our first hit in England, a song called Please Please Me.
This is square one in American Beatles history. This is a chance to see and hear the Beatles as we never have before. In a set with all the between-song banter. Look at their love for their music and their rapport with each other. This is the week they become the leading musical icons of the 20th century. Their American concert career begins here at the Washington Coliseum on the 11th of February, 1964.
This is Carol James, and now from the Washington, D.C. Coliseum, the world's most exciting group, Capitol Recording stars, the Beatles!